Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the lands of Aecathan. That's right. No professionals, no fancy tech, just a group of empowered women playing an all-original game of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Jeff, the poor male in the group right now, damned by my gender. I'm really ashamed of several men that wear black robes to work, but we'll talk about that some other time. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, I'm also the GM for this game with this news. Scientists have discovered a cactus in the desert whose needles are so hard to see they're almost transparent. Seems to me that cactus must really like making their points clear.
Wow. Well done.
Golf clap for that one.
Thank you. Before we dive into the game this evening, a quick recap of what happened last time. It was day 3 of traveling in the desert. And the group stumbled on a massive caravan. Encamped, about 4 dozen camels, people in robes, people who obviously were either indentured servants or slaves, and an undulating circle of sand around the outside that turned out to be a constantly moving group of what the 4 later found out are called Tlinkali, the sort of centaur-like creatures that are half bipedal humanoid and half scorpion. They were headed the same general direction that our group was headed, which is roughly the direction of the oasis known as the Firefly Oasis, according to the Sentinel of the Sands. Because it was likely that the mistreated groups in the camp were in fact slaves, and that's something that sits very poorly with both Aribell and Gwenlaryn. A long evening was spent deliberating different strategies to help the slaves. These deliberations were interrupted by a stranger who just appeared in their midst, warned them against taking on the caravan alone, and then vanished. Eventually, the group retreated to do more planning in Tasha's mansion, a bit further away. They contacted Gaeghointulth, the Sentinel of the Sands, and invited her to join them for dinner and to strategize. Aribell decided to extend an olive branch to the mysterious stranger and invite him to the meeting as well, which he curtly accepted. At dinner, he named himself Cannath, or Cannath for short, and revealed the instructions that he received from the person who hired him. Based on his recitation of the instructions he was given, the 4 figured out it was their friend Wiggy from Thunder's Edge who hired him. Gaego decided that since she was this close, she would check in for the first time in over a century on the Firefly Oasis, which she has not visited since before the Shattering, and suggested that, she's going to go there, and she's just going to take a nice leisurely flight there, and if the group were to follow her, well, it's not like she invited them to do that. They just happened to follow her that direction. Gaegho accepts the invitation to stay in the mansion overnight. Cannath declines in his own rather special way. In other words, he just disappeared again. After he and Gwen spent the dinner exchanging insults. So, the group had a restful night's sleep. It is now the next morning. And I turn it over to the ladies.
I don't know what we want to do.
We're headed for the Oasis after breakfast, right? Gaegho?
Right.
Didn't Gaegho mention something about help with weapons?
Help with magic items if needed.
Magic items. Should we ask her about that before we go?
Yes.
Okay. Is Gaegho there with us?
She stayed the night.
Okay. Gaegho, you mentioned something in your message about helping us with magical items if necessary.
Yes.
What did you have in mind?
If there was something in particular that you needed that you do not already possess, I would be willing to check my own hoard and see if I have such an item. And if I do, I would be delighted to loan it to you.
I don't know what we would need.
The issue at this point is my hoard is many days away.
Yeah,
Right,
that's true
right.
too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's not worry about that then.
But maybe for the future.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you happen to know if you have an oath bow?
Let's see if she knows. Oh yeah, she remembers. Now let's see if she has one.
Get.
I don't believe I have such an item.
Well, thanks anyway.
Certainly. Now that I know you're looking, I will keep my eyes out. If I find one, I will, of course, alert you.
Thank you.
It is always in a sept's best interest to cultivate a good relationship with all of the other septs.
All right. That sounds like wise advice.
We had found this book that Gwen was able to read, and it made her wiser.
Ah, yes. I have seen such tomes.
But then I think it vanished after the text.
Yes, they do that. It will be, that particular copy will be gone for some many years before it reappears in the world.
Do you know of any that are readable?
That is actually part of my reorganization that I have not yet completed. I have managed to clean all of my tomes, but I have not yet reshelved them and taken inventory. So I might, but I don't know.
Okay. We have quite a few magic weapons from her.
We do. We're very blessed.
And hopefully, by the time we get back, or we can check in and travel there, I'll have a new sword.
Oh, did we tell you about the Dracolich?
She gets very serious. You did not.
Oh,
Well, It was a blue, and it attacked us with some zombies, zombie ogres, zombie trolls. I can't remember.
They are so fond of their henchmen.
But we killed it.
And we added its horde to our own.
Excellent! Oh,
Wait.
this will make Mother very happy, I'm sure. I am very happy for you.
It was a lot of horde.
Platinum and sapphires and magic items. It was a good horde. Well, it was an evil
Excellent.
horde. Now it's a good horde.
Yes.
Well, that is good news. There is one less Dracolich in the world, and you have increased your horde significantly. I'd call
Yeah.
that a win-win.
We're gonna need to get another storage unit.
Oh,
Speaking
already
of
running
magic
out of
items.
space, eh?
Well, the Dracolich had many, 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 many coins.
Yes, they do take up rather a lot of room. That's why I find most of my horde has been exchanged for gems, which are much more easily stored. They take up less space, and they're prettier.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Absolutely.
And you can bear them.
Yes. So perhaps at some point you'll come across the opportunity to do that as well. I can recommend it. It's much easier to deal with.
It's a good idea.
So what is there for breakfast?
Well, bacon and
Bacon.
eggs and waffles and toast and fruit and eggs Benedict.
Mm.
Oh, and potatoes
Hearty.
and coffee and tea.
Fruit. Did you say fruit?
Yes, I did say fruit.
Okay.
Always fruit.
Well, this is delightful.
It's a really good spell.
Tell me, do things you store here remain here when you dismiss the mansion?
Nope. Nope.
Oh.
We have to take everything with us.
That would be
Extra helpful.
wonderful. I wish that were the case.
I shall have to inquire of our sages. Such a
gotta be.
thing should be possible. I'm surprised no one's done it. Well, that's for another day.
Yes.
Shall we continue? If my calculations are nearly correct, we may in fact make the oasis before sundown.
Wow.
We will, of
And that-
course, be traveling much faster.
Oh. So we're not going to follow you?
It's the strangest thing. I do believe that I'm getting forgetful in my old age. And I've left a rope hanging off one of my hind legs.
Goodness.
All the better to climb it, I suppose?
Or if someone had a device that could float.
Like a rug?
Oh, like a rug.
Perhaps, yes.
And hold on.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be
Wow.
interesting.
That was what I was thinking as well.
Oh, I've always wanted to go tubing. I mean,
Rugging?
carpeting.
Rugging? I don't even know. That sounds horrible.
It really does.
I still will be flying at a fairly leisurely pace, but I do believe it would be faster than your device can travel.
Fast is good.
Excellent.
Sounds wonderful.
So we get to be in your shadow as well.
If you wish.
Yes. We shall
Let's do it.
finish breakfast really quickly and head on out the mansion.
All right. It's another beautiful, clear, sunny, getting hot quickly day in the desert.
We get on the magic carpet.
Gaego pulls a length of silk rope out of a pouch at her waist and forms it into a very, very large loop. Lays it carefully on the ground, and then, once again, she begins to expand and flare out into full dragon form. Looks back, carefully steps her left hind leg into the loop, and looks back at you and raises a ridged eyebrow.
I'll grab the rope, I guess.
Yeah, I will get us in the air.
She too takes her wings and begins to flap and just rises straight up, hovering over the desert. Do you tighten the rope?
Yes.
Tighten around
Okay.
her leg. Yeah.
All right. How are you going to secure it to the carpet?
That is a good question. Can we tie it around an edge? Okay,
We-
so what would be a better idea?
No.
Tie it around Gwen. I hang onto the carpet with one hand and Gwen to the other. I mean, I don't know.
I guess I
Yeah.
could tie it around my waist and sit on the carpet, dig my feet into the front and pull the corners back toward me. Sled style.
Toboggan style. I like it. Gasso.
Works for me.
Does that work for the rug?
He's so helpful.
We're gonna try that first.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Having never, had to
We
deal
tell
with the
Gaego.
concept
We
of-
tell Gaego we're gonna try this first. Hopefully it works.
She nods her head and then slowly angles her body down and forward a little bit, and her wings begin to move her forward.
I brace.
Okay? Make a this would be an athletics check.
Let's see. 22.
The pull is uncomfortable at first, but the discomfort doesn't last for very long. There's no real resistance as the carpet is free floating.
Right.
And she begins to flap her wings a little harder. And she and the carpet begin to pick up speed. But she also begins climbing.
I hang on for dear life.
It quickly becomes apparent that she is planning on flying at some significant height.
Oh, jeez.
That's okay.
As long as the carpet is moving and she's hanging on. As long as the carpet is okay with the way that it is being manhandled.
Woman handled.
Woman handled.
She eventually settles into a steady pace. Judging from the wind, this is faster.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. It's a little bit wind tunnelish.
That's still cool.
It's very cool.
So, what would you like to do while you travel? Anything?
I'm gonna hang on.
Hang on.
Well, yes.
I mean, we're just hanging on. I'm keeping an eye on Gwen.
I will look out for stuff.
Okay.
Like, keep my eyes open for.
Laughing that Cannath will not be able to keep up this time.
Oh no, he will not.
He will not.
Oh, he'll find a way just to be irritating.
Yeah, but it'll take him a little longer.
He'll have to work harder at it. You know, he could have joined us on the carpet. Oh, but he didn't
Yes.
want to. Oh well.
I'm fine if we never see him again.
All right. Tasha,
Yes?
if you would,
Yes.
go ahead and
Roll perception.
yes.
$20. 27.
It's a little difficult given that the ground is just sand. But at this height, it does become apparent that you are moving a little bit faster. Not a great deal faster, but faster than you would have been able to go on your own. Apart from that, it is a very bright, clear day, and it's a little cooler up this high.
Okay.
So that's nice as well. It's very difficult to see anything down on the sands. At a quick guess, you're somewhere between 300 and 400 feet up right now.
Wow.
My goodness.
Yeah. So don't fall off the carpet.
Okay. Yeah, getting that loud and clear.
Yeah, that would be what
Bad.
we in the GM business call bad, yes. How long do you wish to travel before you take a break?
Well, considering that we don't really know how to go about taking a break, I mean, I think Gaego is going to determine this unless we start pulling on the rope and asking for a break.
We'll just hang out.
Okay. it quickly becomes almost boring. The landscape doesn't change much. And there are no clouds in the sky. The only noticeable change is the position of the sun as you travel. You fly through the morning, through the afternoon, and into the late afternoon. Tasha, since you're the one looking at everything, please make me another perception check.
29.
Far off in the distance, on the horizon, there's something darker than the sands.
Like what?
Difficult to make out at this range.
Okay.
But the closer you come, the more it begins to resolve into something that actually looks a little familiar. And then Gaego begins to descend. In the distance, that darker object becomes trees. A whole small forest of palm trees with occasional brighter colored plants. And then there's a slight change in the air.
I bet.
As Gaego descends further, the smell of water starts to ride on the winds. As you get even closer, you see a massive lake surrounded by palm and other types of trees, and at the left-hand edge of it, from the angle that you're coming in from, you see a settlement of sorts. It looks crude, but permanent. Buildings made from, you would guess, the wood found at this location, plus the fronds from the palm trees and such other things. Gaego eventually comes to a landing. She slows and then stops to a hover and then slowly lowers herself down.
I do the same with the carpet.
And she once again melts down into her elven form. She then walks back, picks up the loop, unties it, and begins coiling the rope back up.
Well, now what?
Gwen, if you would, make me another athletics check.
$19.
Your shoulders, your hands, your legs are all rather sore
Yeah.
from spending a day bracing.
Yeah, that's hard.
It's not crippling, but it's painful.
Is there anything
So-
I can do to help her?
I don't think so. Well,
Maybe less restoration.
I don't know.
Or heat from prestidigitation.
The lay on hands might do something,
Okay.
since that's really sort of directed relief straight from your goddess.
So she doesn't really have damage.
Right.
Hit point damage. There's the 5 hit points to cure disease, neutralize poison, that kind of effect. I mean, something similar to that. Would that?
Maybe.
We'll try that. For some warm, glowing energy touch.
Thank you. It's been. I'm just a little sore, a little achy.
Like a good round of ibuprofen.
I'll take it.
The soreness eases significantly. It doesn't go away entirely, but it's much less bothersome.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for. Should have traded off.
Well, once we began, there wasn't really an opportunity to. It would have been difficult to transfer to someone else.
You could have told me you needed a break.
I was okay. I was not harmed. I'm just a little sore. A good night's sleep and I'll be right as rain.
Well, let us see what the Oasis has in store for us.
Indeed.
We're just gonna walk in.
You are probably at this point about 150 feet from the edge of the trees.
Would you like me to scout ahead?
We're just gonna look like we're travelers traveling the desert.
We do have our sand gear on, right? So we.
Sure, I'm good.
And when Gaego assumed her elven form, this time it was with similar clothing.
Very good.
You, of course, may scout ahead if you wish, but unless something has changed, these people were very hospitable. They made their living dealing with those who pass through. But if you
Well.
wish to scout, by all means. I do acknowledge it has been decades, many decades, since I was last here.
What do you all think?
I don't think you should get too far ahead.
Okay.
You're
So
muted.
Roll up the carpet.
Let's just all be together.
Good.
Very well. Lead on.
Let's start toward the settlement.
It doesn't take very long to get to the edge of the trees. And it does seem that there is a path through the trees.
take the path.
Coming in from the west?
Coming in from the east.
Coming in from the east. Okay.
Yes. Within 10 minutes, the trees give way to a much more open space filled with rustic buildings and people, and the heavy scent of water. The air actually has some humidity to it.
Well, I think if we were desert travelers, the first thing we'd do is head toward the water. So perhaps we should do that.
You see
I like it.
men, women, children, all different races. They see you and nod, but continue doing whatever they were doing.
Daily things.
I smile and nod back and generally try to seem like the affable traveler.
Gwen, go ahead and make a survival check.
Do people stare at me?
19.
They do not.
Okay, good.
With a 19, you are easily able to figure out how to get to the water. As you move that direction, I'd like everyone to make a perception check.
$18.
32.
33.
21. I was so excited I got above a 20.
Yay.
And you did better than I did.
Aribell and Tasha, you happen to see on the faces of those you pass as you are getting closer to the water expressions of amusement. Soft, but some amusement and a couple glances exchanged between people as you pass.
Do you share this information?
Fight to see what, maybe?
Yeah, go ahead.
25.
Something about what you're doing is both familiar and entertaining to these people.
Everybody probably heads to the water first thing.
Oh, because we headed to the water. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Sure.
I mean, if that's what all travelers do, I mean, we might as well be tourists just like everybody else.
Well,
Right.
we want to blend, right?
Blend.
Yeah.
We probably don't look quite as. So hopefully, we don't look weird though, right? We're not as dusty or not bedraggled from the desert. So
We probably look fairly windblown.
Yeah.
that is true.
Our hair is
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
straight up behind us.
We've been in a convertible too long.
Ah.
Within a few minutes, the water comes into view. It is a massive lake. There's really no other way to describe it. Crystal clear blue water.
I'd like to detect magic.
Okay.
decide then.
Make an Arcana check for me, please.
Okay, let's see what my +1 gets me. 12.
Not quite fast enough to keep from yelping in pain. The entire lake is magical.
That's what I was expecting. So, because there's like, why else would it?
Right. What are others?
So I yelp.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I just was confirming a theory, and it's very magical, very bright.
Oh. What are others who are at the water's edge doing?
There are no others at the water's edge.
Oh, it's just us.
Oh.
Yep.
Maybe we should back away from the water.
Yeah. Is no one else is approaching it?
No.
That's really odd.
Well, they live here. They probably don't.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we're the only tourists walking up to Trevi Fountain, about to step in.
All right. I'm not going to approach the water then.
Is there anybody around us close by that's not necessarily going to step in the water, just around us?
Make a perception check.
18. Wait, 12 and perception. 12 and 6. 18.
Just back right of where you are all standing, there's a fairly large building. A circular building. It looks as if someone took a teepee type structure and put it up on a circular 10-foot wall. And
Sort of a tower?
more like a structure with a teepee roof.
Okay.
And there is a halfling who is currently sweeping sand away from the door through the wall, watching you.
Do any of the buildings look like they might be religious in nature, like shrines or?
Make a religion check.
That's slightly better than 1. 18.
None of the rustic iconography that you see seems religious. But there's significantly more settlement farther west than you've traveled yet.
I'm gonna raise my hand and like hi to the halfling and be like, how close are we?
20 feet? 25 feet?
Raise my hand and like, hi, tourists, first time here. Have any tips for us?
Ah, welcome, travelers. Is this your first time in Firefly Oasis?
A nod.
Ah. I am Bundrigo Jamarre. On behalf of all of us here, welcome to the Shade.
The
Thank
shade.
you.
The shade of the name of your establishment.
No, the shade of the beautiful trees. No, I run my establishment, the Delirious Traveler. Named for too many who come through my doors.
Are you an inn or tavern?
Yes.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
What do you think of the water? Beautiful, is it not?
Yes, it's very beautiful.
Is there a legend of how it came to be?
If there is, I do not know it.
Side check.
I am okay.
Ooh, fancy.
Alright.
Ooh, fancy.
26.
He's lying.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Well, if you don't mind, we'd love to have a sit and maybe a little drink.
Ooh, by all means, come in, come in.
I'm going to use my primeval awareness to sense whether there's anything within 6 miles of here that I should know about.
I'm gonna look at.
Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fey fiends, or undead.
Okay.
While we're walking, I'm gonna look at Gaego. Does she look hesitant or?
She looks nonplussed.
Okay.
She's just kind of taking it all in.
Along for the ride.
She just looks very calm and very serene. She's got kind of that typical elf thing going.
Got it.
Gwenlaryn,
Yes.
starting at the range, at the extreme range, you do sense a few undead. Nothing else until you get within spitting distance, and then you sense dragon.
Right. That I expected. But undead. But not anything close by.
No.
Okay.
The Delirious Traveler has the feel of a building that's been in place for some time. The animal skins that make up the sloping roof of the place are cracked and split. Here and there you can see it's been patched many times. Inside, however, it is a wide, fairly clean, bright space. There are magical, glowing light orbs placed throughout the inside, so everything inside is brightly lit. And even though outside it didn't seem that windy, there is a very nice, gentle breeze blowing through the room. There are tables and chairs set rather haphazardly around the room. There is a long table covered with a very bright blue tablecloth that seems to serve as the bar. Behind the table, there are a multitude of shelves with bottles and small casks, along with several barrels that can be seen sitting to the side. There's a squat but wide wood stove with extended steel tops, and you can see several dishes that are likely in various states of preparation. And there are a few other people seated at some of the tables and chairs, but not many.
Well, we're going to see what they have to offer in drinks. We are probably thirsty, at least.
They have water. They have beer. They have wine. They have some harder spirits.
I'm gonna start with water.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
So Drigo brings over
Enough water for everybody.
4 waters, sits them down, and says, "Please accept these as part of your welcome to the Shades."
Is Gaego still with us?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Most kind.
She didn't order anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the name was Bundrigo?
Bundrigo.
Bundrigo.
He, you hear one of the other people in the place call for him, addressing him simply as Drigo.
Bundrigo.
And
Well, I'll call him-
his last name is Jamarre.
Oh, I put Jamari.
Jumanji. Nope.
Jamari. Okay. Does he go help those other people?
Yes.
Okay. When he comes back, let's pump him for as much information as we can. Right? I mean, about the town, about how often people come through here, et cetera, et cetera. Do you think he'll be forthwith and forthcoming?
He hasn't been so far, right? If Tasha told us that.
Yes. I did.
Right, well then, do you just want to drink and keep moving on?
I mean, I don't want to drink any alcohol until we have a better
No,
idea.
I meant water. Drink our water. And
Yeah, no, I think we should drink our water.
tip like a gold and...
Did we check the water to make sure it's okay?
No.
I did not.
I'm not drinking it then until...
How do we do that?
Does anyone have, like, purify water, or...
Let me see if I've got it prepared. Oh, that I've got it prepared. I do. Purify food and drink. I will cast Purify food and drink. Or do you want to wait till we get food? Nah, I'll do it. First level spell.
Okay.
So all non-magical food and drink within a 5-foot radius is purified, rendered free of poison and disease. And I still have detect magic up probably for another few minutes, so I would be able to tell if it was glowing.
It is not glowing.
Okay.
You cast the spell. Aribell, make a perception check. Right, almost soft enough to miss. When you cast the spell, you hear
Can I tell from who?
Drigo.
From whom?
The waiter.
Rioter.
The owner.
I just smile at him.
He just kind of shakes his head and Goes back to tending something on the stove.
I turn to Gaego and say, do you happen to know if our surly shadow managed to keep up with us today?
Oh, yes, he did.
How, do you know?
Well, I didn't fly fast enough to lose him.
How is he traveling?
By air.
That's interesting.
Does he have a creature he's using for travel? Or
None,
is he flying?
none that I was able to detect, but he is very difficult to detect.
So I know you said that he's traveling by air. Can you tell me how he's traveling by air?
I cannot. It was almost all I could do to fix my gaze upon him, and even then, it was only flickers in the air.
When we were with him, did he have winged boots on? We asked that though, didn't we? Did we ask that?
Well, I know he has a cloak like mine, but I didn't
Right.
hear anything about his boots.
The winged boots are that fast.
They're not. Mine aren't, at least.
And maybe fly. I don't know how long that lasts.
An hour.
So you have to keep casting it.
Is he what he seems? An elf? As far as you know?
Well, he certainly behaves like one.
Does.
He does, but would you be able to sense if he's anything other than an elf?
Not without a deliberate investigation, no. I could detect if his behaviors were not that of what I have come to expect from his species. But as they are, there's little more I can tell you.
Is he here now?
Ooh. Opposed rolls, here we go.
If he weren't here, there'd be no one to oppose. I don't know. I think this is worth asking about.
I cannot say with any certainty. I cannot see him. But as I said, he was very difficult to see.
I mean, it's interesting that he is keeping up. It's interesting that he can fly somehow.
He may not be what he seems.
I think he's just annoying.
Well, that for sure.
And he's a merc. But
So
that's about
would
it.
seem.
And, you know, mercs aren't really trustworthy.
Oh, I wasn't suggesting we trust him.
No,
I just want to know
saying.
how much of a liability he is.
Jeff,
Mm-hmm.
can I cast locate object on his cloak?
Smart.
Would she be able to see him in the room if she had
Detect magic up?
detect magic up still?
Oh, well, there's that too.
Right?
That's only I don't know, 30 feet.
Make a perception check.
Those are both actually really good. 31.
You do not see him. You do not see any magical emanations that you did not expect to see at this point.
Okay. So I want to try the locate object on his cloak.
There you go, girl. There you go.
That's 1,000 feet.
Okay.
Try that.
All right. As you close your eyes and concentrate, you send your awareness out. You sense the object that you're looking for is some 50 feet away and probably 40 feet in the air. Back outside.
He's nearby. And up. Still.
Well, if I look around, is the barkeeper near us?
He's back
How-
behind the bar.
How far is that away from us?
Probably about 15 feet.
I lean in and whisper, if we're not going to try to get any information, then do we just want to drink and leave and look around the town more?
Can I borrow your spyglass?
I have it.
Can I borrow it?
I get it out of my bag and I hand it to her.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I don't know. Are you hungry? We could eat.
Sure.
Oh, it's been almost all day, huh?
We should
Yeah.
probably eat.
Probably had snacks or rations, but nothing yummy.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I asked Dorigo for a menu.
Oh, well, we do not have a menu, but I can tell you what is on the stove.
All right.
We have, of course, Oasis stew with roasted plantains, and that comes with a small snifter of brandy. It accentuates the flavor of the fish. We have purberry and palm nut soup. And we have rainbow roast with palm roots, and that, of course, comes with a tankard of our famous palm beer.
You said rainbow what?
Roast!
Roast.
How is it rainbow?
It's parrot!
Oh.
Oh, wow.
I think I'll have that purberry palm nut soup. And then I say I'll be right back.
I will try the stew.
Okay.
What is
Stew.
this stew made out of?
Fish.
I would love to try some stew.
Where do you get fish in the desert?
From the lake, of course.
Ah,
It's freshwater or
Yes.
salted?
Fresh.
Oh. Wow. Great. That sounds wonderful.
The Oasis provides.
Is insight check. Is he just bullshitting us the whole time? Did he, when he walked away to help those other people? Well, when he walks away to help other people, again, I'm going to watch him and see if he is as,
Bullshitty.
yes, as,
Full of crap.
yes, as flourishing as,
Like JoJo
Extravagant.
puts on an act.
right, exactly, with the locals being different.
Make a history check to see what you remember. And then you can make an insight check.
Oh, not bad. History, though. 17 for history.
He wasn't as physically demonstrative. He was a little bit more subdued in his gestures,
Mm-hmm.
but otherwise it seemed to be the same.
Okay, and I got 17 for insight, so same thing.
Everything that he's told you in this particular conversation, he seems to be forthright about.
Okay, sounds good. All right. We'll wait for Aribell to get back and or eat.
Okay. Aribell?
So I go out Let's see. It's concentration, so it's still and move towards where I'm sensing the object.
Okay.
Under it. And then I will use the spyglass and look up to where I think he is.
As you approach, you sense the object begin to ascend.
Okay, I look in the spyglass.
All right. Make a perception check.
Get it, girl.
Aurora might want to help me with this. I'm not going to see him. 28.
Your spell tells you that the cloak is some 100 feet over your head, but you see nothing.
He's probably looking down, though.
Oh, I suspect he looks down on almost everyone.
I'm going to pull out a coin. I mean, he's probably too far up, though, but if he's looking kind of similarly, if he could tell I was looking at him from that far, he can see, like trying to catch the reflection in the light so that he'd see I was trying to signal him.
Okay.
And wait and see if it comes closer.
It does not move.
Stand there and look straight up because he's probably knows he's got to know I know he's there if he went up. So I'll wait a few minutes.
After a couple minutes, you sense that the object has begun to move toward the Delirious Traveler and comes to rest over the center of the building.
Okay. I move with him.
Okay.
Is he still as far up or is he lowered down?
Still as far up.
Aribell, do I know you're doing this? I mean, can I see you?
Ask for the
No.
spy outside.
You're inside, she's outside.
All right, I'm going to walk outside and see if I can figure out where she went. It makes me nervous that she's off doing something by herself.
Make a perception check.
That's a natural kraken. For no good reason. 31. Like now I get one just randomly.
Stepping out, looking right, you see her just almost around the curve of the building, standing there looking up into the sky.
I walk over and say, Aribell, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just waiting to see how long it'll take Cannath to float back down. He went higher.
Oh.
It's kind of straight up about 100 feet above the middle of the building.
Is there anything you can do to mark his location? Like any fancy lights or anything?
Well, I mean, only if I hit him with something. I don't want to blast him. I mean,
well, if it's just dancing lights or something, then
no, I
it
mean,
wouldn't harm him.
No, like if I hit him with a bolt of radiant energy and damaged him, then he would be sparkling for you. But other than that,
no, not necessarily looking for you to damage him, but if there were a way that you could mark his location, that would be ideal.
No,
like, even if you just threw the coin at him and he caught it.
He's 100 feet up.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't lift me, right?
What?
You can't lift me, right?
Sure. I could lift you.
You have your boots on?
I do.
We go say hi.
I think he can fly faster than I can, though.
Right, but he's got to wonder how we know where he's at. So.
Okay. I grab her around the waist and launch upward as fast as I can fly.
Hey, Cannath.
You sense the object begin to rise faster than you.
He's going high. I do yell up there, though, once we're up. And I say, Cannath. Just wanted to invite you to lunch. It's good manners. I'm kind of yelling. I am yelling.
What would he know of manners? Clearly.
Gwen.
Well, he's being rude.
All right.
We lower back down.
But I do have a way to track him now.
Indeed, you do.
Oh well. Just thought it'd be nice.
Maybe he has a broom?
Oh, maybe it is a broom.
Well, what's faster than boots?
The carpet.
You could have a
But
carpet.
he's faster than the carpet.
Well, it depends on which carpet.
More than one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The larger the carpet, the slower they move. You have the middle one. So
He
there
could
is
have
a
a
smaller one that moves faster.
Does it move faster than a dragon?
If the dragon was going full speed, yes. I mean, no.
Okay.
If the dragon was going full speed, there's nothing but another dragon that could keep up with it.
But if a dragon were, I don't know, say pulling somebody else on a carpet.
And the boots only last for like a few hours anyways.
Yeah, so it's not boots.
Yeah, boots lets you fly at your normal movement rate.
Right.
Yeah, maybe a broom
Or a carpet.
or a carpet. He's probably not casting fly that many times.
No, that would be hard to maintain.
Yeah. Oh well. Everyone eventually succumbs to our charm.
That's not true.
Maybe?
He doesn't like us.
Tremaine.
A list?
Please,
Do you want a list?
Harry his son.
There are people that don't like us. Some of them are dead.
Some of them will be. The day is young.
Oh, goodness.
He's friends with Wiggy?
No.
Well, he was hired.
Just because Wiggy hired him does not mean that they are friends. In fact, he probably doesn't like Wiggy at all. He just took Wiggy's money.
Come back in.
So when we go back in, I ask Zori, hey Zori, would you have a spell that would allow us to mark or light up somebody who's invisible overhead? Like some kind of a light spell or...
Hold on, let me look. I have dancing lights, but that's not. I know what you're thinking of, and I
Dancing
don't.
lights might do it.
No, dancing light is just the globes of light, so that
Mhm.
you can see. They don't attach to anything. They're just wherever I put them.
Do you have fairy fire, Tasha?
I do not. A question.
It's a bard spell too, so I didn't know if it's not a
If-
sorcerer spell.
I'm gonna think about fog cloud,
I don't think so.
and if he were in it, would well, no, fog cloud is much too dense. Yeah, never mind.
I mean, we know where if we need to find him, I can find him. It's
Yeah, that's true.
now I know it works, and that's at least we know if he's there.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel better. I don't like not knowing where someone is who's following us.
Right.
Plus, if he's injured, I suppose we'd probably help him. Some of us would.
I mean, if he asked for my help, I would probably help him. But that's as far as that goes.
Wonder how long Wiggy is he like gonna follow us the whole time we're in the desert?
I don't know.
You'd think he'd have to sleep sometime, or he'd take levels of exhaustion himself.
Well, he probably sleeps when we went into the mansion.
We have made it kind of easy for him in some regards. But
It's fine.
it is. It's fine.
Trigo comes over with your food.
No offense earlier about the water. We've been traveling in the desert, and as you can imagine, we've met some untrustworthy people.
Whatever makes your stay in the shades more comfortable for you is good with Trigo.
Well, thank you. I tried the food. How's the stew?
Let's see. He tells you that it will be 1 gold, 9 silver for everything.
All right. I gave him the money.
Okay. You just hand him the money, and he kind of looks at it and looks at you for a moment, and then back to cheerful and walks back behind the bar.
He looks at the money?
Mhm.
Oh, he was probably checking to make sure it was real.
We're gonna eat. How's the food?
It's good. It's good. It's very tasty.
Does the money have like a marking on it? Like that it's Ermahian?
Yes.
Oh. Ugh.
Boy, if we don't look like tourists before, we sure as heck
Yeah.
look like tourists now.
It's gold probably to them, but it would definitely give away where we're from, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Eh.
Because what would Ermahians want here in the desert?
To get to the other side.
I guess.
Well, would it be prudent to ask about Jagravan activity?
I don't know that he's gonna tell us anything, honestly.
Nope.
I think so.
Well, we can certainly look around and see if there's any signs that there's an active, I don't know, slave trade, for example.
I was just thinking we need to walk around the rest of the town and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's
Every-
eat quickly.
So let's eat and then Just kind of
Yeah.
walk around town, look at the things, go in the shops.
He comes back to check after about 5 minutes or so. Everything is to your liking, yes?
Oh, yes. Very nice.
Can you
Excellent.
recommend any shops in the area that might specialize in items that travelers such as ourselves would be interested in?
Well, I am not entirely sure what travelers like yourselves would be interested in.
Well, of course, we're looking for the same things that anyone would be looking for. Information, magical items, the latest word on what's happening in this neck of the woods.
Ah, information you seek. I see. You would be speaking to Theo.
Theo?
He lives along the edge of the waters, west out of the village.
Oh.
But if it is to be knowing, Theo will have it.
Do you get a lot of travelers?
Make a persuasion check.
It's my highest skill.
Uh-oh.
Hmm?
Oh. Is it really?
33.
For a while we have not received any. But lately we have been receiving quite a few. Although, if you do not mind my saying, not like you.
What do you mean?
You do not haggle. You
Oh.
do not berate.
Berate?
You are not rude.
Should we be?
I would prefer it if you were not.
Do those visitors tend to come from a different direction than we did?
I do not know what direction you came from. I
Oh.
only saw you standing by the water's edge.
More.
So, which visitors come here and speak to you so?
The ones who come in great numbers. They come to refill water, and then they continue through, and we do not see them again, but they keep coming.
Big caravans?
Yes.
We saw a large group on our way here, so
I have been told that there are many camels.
But you know not where they go?
They continue to the west, toward the Dune Mount.
The Dune Mount. What do you know of the Dune Mount?
It is not a climb I wish to make again.
Oh.
But you've made it before.
Oh, yes, yes.
Why?
Well, it was traveling here.
So you aren't from here.
No, I came with my parents as a very small boy.
Where did you grow up? If you'd like are willing to share.
Oh, Castiskay.
And why did your parents choose to relocate here?
There was an opportunity to open this lovely establishment.
So it's a family business.
Yes. One that I hope to leave someday to my child, if I ever have any.
Do I, Jeff, do I know where Gastiskay is?
Castiskay? You've never heard that word before in your life.
Okay.
File it away for. Well, it's clearly the right line of work. The food is delicious.
Many thanks.
You do your parents proud.
I have decided that I like you.
And we've decided we like you back.
That makes me very happy. I hope that
Thank
you will
you.
stay with us for a while.
We may. We'll certainly take your advice on visiting Theo,
Yes.
and we'll be sure to tell him you sent us.
Oh, yes, please do. Otherwise, he will not speak with you.
Oh.
Give him another. Well, I guess we'll just tip him well for the information.
Yes. Since we are in the market for information, we will pay generously to those that can provide it.
Ah. Well, in the fact that I like you, let me warn you, offering to pay Theo will only make him angry.
Oh, okay.
Is there-
What does persuade him?
I do not know. He is a very strange old man. When he decides to take a liking to someone, it is remarkable, and that someone is blessed. Most of the time, he does not.
Would he appreciate us bringing him a meal from here?
You might take him some stew. It certainly would not hurt.
Okay.
When he comes to town, where does he like to visit?
He does not really come to town. People go to him.
And the people that he's liked in the past, is there anything about them that's noteworthy?
They were his family.
Well, we'll try not to offend and start there.
That is probably wise.
Do you have a way to wrap up, put soup in a container we could take? Or
Oh, yes. Yes, I will do so. And you will tell him that it is a gift from Drigo.
Thank you, Drigo.
when he walks away, I ask Diego if the settlement is similar to how she remembers it.
It is. I do not believe this establishment was here the last time I visited. So this is a new addition. But it seems acceptable. Beyond that, the enchantment on the waters is new.
Oh, it wasn't magical before?
No. At least not that I was ever made aware of.
Do you know what this enchantment does?
I do not. I have not even detected it. I am merely acknowledging what Aribell discovered.
I see. But there was water here before.
Oh, yes, yes. I believe at one time, ages ago, this was a volcano.
Interesting.
And at one point, its eruption shattered its mount, and it fell in on itself,
Oh.
and apparently fell down to some sort of underground spring,
Huh.
because when it cooled, that was when the lake appeared, and the area around the water became fertile. And the trees grew, and for some time there was no community here. This was simply a place that people could stop off, take their ease temporarily, get fresh water, and continue on their journeys. And then someone had the idea that there should be people here to service travelers who came through in whatever direction. And that grew from a single family into this community. This story I heard from my sire.
Have you heard of Castasgay? Is that what he's? That city?
I don't believe I have. It does not sound familiar, but there are new settlements popping up all the time. Your kill cross was not there when I last flew the skies of Aecathan.
Well, if we're done eating and our stew is ready for travel, let's go find this Theo.
Do it. Well, we order some stew to go.
Well, Drigo already brought over
Oh, okay.
sort of an earthenware pot with a lid. It looks old. It's a little chipped.
That's okay.
But it's intact. And it's warm because it's got stew in it.
I carry it.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go.
As you step out of the Delirious Traveler back into the blazing sun, which for whatever reason is not quite as hot here, probably due to the fact that there's actually some moisture in the air, and set off to find the mysterious Theo. This is where we're going to take our break.
Yay.
So, get a drink, get a snack, take care of whatever you need to take care of. Just come back in 15, because there's a lot more story tonight. So, we'll see you then. welcome back. Outside the Delirious Traveler, in search of the mysterious Theo. Over to you.
We head that direction, right?
Yep.
Along the water and away from the settlement. The way
Okay.
Earthen pot in hand.
Right. As you walk along the southern edge of the lake, you do pass by another building. This one is just like the animal skin teepee, staked to the ground. There is a doorway, and there's very acrid smells coming out of it. Soon, though, the acrid smells get left behind, and you quickly lose sight of the settlement as you walk along the edge of the shore. Let's see. Who's leading?
I usually scout ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, if you would, please make a perception check.
Ooh. Let's see. That's a 29.
There's movement in the brush ahead, and you spot it just as an exceptionally large desert panther comes slowly padding out of the undergrowth.
I put up my hand to warn the others to stop and cast Speaks with Animals.
Okay.
Good evening. We mean you no harm. We're just passing through.
Maybe he's Theo.
What does he look like?
It's a large, exceptionally large desert panther.
Ooh.
Why are you here?
We travel to speak with Theo. We're told that he may have information for us.
And why should I let you disturb Theo?
Well, we're bringing him some dinner. And it's stew.
Yes.
We are willing to share. Also, might I add, you are magnificent. Have you ever thought about traveling with a group like us?
No.
Would you like to?
No.
Nice try, though.
You're amazing.
And he yawns and slowly turns and walks back into the underbrush.
Yeah.
I came this close to getting a really big kitty.
No, you did not.
Oh,
No.
you asked him, and he said no.
I know. I
Sorry.
respect his answer, but okay. I keep going.
We follow.
Eventually, the foliage begins to pull back from the shore, revealing a small cove. And there is what can only be described as a hut. But sitting out in front of the hut in a rather rough chair, one arm on the armrest, the other arm scratching the head of the panther, is a white-haired gentleman, long, worn loose, white beard and mustache, scars visible on his arms, on his face, on what you can see of his chest. He's dressed in breeches and a loose, long-sleeved white shirt.
Greetings. Do you like stew?
He opens his eyes, and you see that they are white. Like, completely white.
No irises at all?
No.
We bring a gift from Trico of his stew.
I can smell it. Which one of you talked to Preez?
I did. I invited him to join us, but he declined.
Join you for what?
We're just a group of adventurers, and he's magnificent. It would be wonderful to have him join us, but he wasn't interested.
You see the fingers scratching the head of the panther just kind of stop for a moment. Have we met?
I don't think so. We're the four?
Okay, there's 4 of you. Okay.
There are. And we're traveling this way.
Wait,
trying-
there's... I'll be damned. There's 5
One
of
of-
you.
Yes, one of our number is also a dragon.
Yeah.
The Sentinel of the Sands?
Bullshit. Sentinel of the Sands died when my grandpappy was still a boy.
Well, we, the four, have played a part in bringing back the good dragons, including the Sentinel of the Sands. Gaegho is here with us today, in her elven form.
Still smells like a dragon.
'Cause she is a dragon.
Oh, that's very interesting. I wasn't aware that the scent remained. I shall have to take steps.
And we, though we were not born dragon, we are dragon kin. We are in fact our own sept of dragons.
Sept? What's a sept? It is a designation between different types of dragons. There is a gold sept, a silver sept, a bronze set, a copper set, a brass set, and these 4 women comprise the mithril sept. You don't smell like dragons.
We said we're not. We're dragon kin.
The fuck does that mean?
We're sort of honorary dragons for the role that we played in bringing them back.
Huh.
I wrote a song about it.
Is that any good?
Would you like me to play it for you?
Maybe later.
All right.
And then he sort of sniffs the air and turns his head so that he's basically facing Gaego. And then begins to speak in this very harsh, raspy language.
Do I recognize it?
You do.
Speaking of dragon. Oh yeah, would Pam?
My lessons. I've got draconic now.
You're getting
Every
about
3 words.
about 75% of it.
No, that's not bad.
That's pretty good.
You're getting enough
Right.
you can follow the gist. But he says in Draconic, if you are the Sentinel of the Sands, who was the protector of the Oasis when last you visited? And she responds, Rathagnol, if I remember correctly. And you see him just kind of lean back a little bit. And in Draconic, he says, such was my great-great-great-grandfather's name. And he was the protector of the Oasis in his time. And she says back to him in Draconic, you are his descendant. Well met. Are you the protector of the Oasis now? And he switches back to common. I am. Well, much as I can be.
Protector of the Oasis. Wonderful.
What does that mean?
It's my family's legacy to watch out for the Oasis and its people, and if there's a threat, to address it.
Did you enchant the lake?
No. Nope. That's beyond me. That was done before I was born.
What do you know what the enchantment is?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to share?
Maybe in a little bit.
Fair.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So, obviously, you come from Drigo, because he sent the stew.
Yes. He did say to tell you that he sent us your way.
Yep, figured that out when I smelled it. Not from around here, you wouldn't know to bring it.
Search for information about some of the visitors that have been coming to the Oasis. Trico mentioned that they haven't all been nice.
No. They've been a right royal pain in the ass.
Really?
Bunch of rude, arrogant assholes.
They come from the temple.
Is there another name?
Jagravanan?
Yep, that's him.
Do they
We
come
pass them.
do they come into the town or do they stay just outside of the town?
We don't let those monsters in our town. So they got to stay out. And since they got to stay out, they leave most of their crew out there and the camels.
And their slaves.
No. They usually bring a passel of them in. They need them to carry the water.
Trying to see what they're up to.
Apart from being a right nuisance and rude. No. They come in, they get water, they continue on. Our scouts see them heading west toward the Dune Mount. Once they're out of here, we don't really care, so we don't pay much attention.
So they don't conduct business here.
They buy water.
Do you know where they get their slaves?
Nope. They bring them.
They don't
Every
take
group
people.
is no. They know better. They want water. They don't cause any trouble here. First group found that out.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, a couple of their guards decided they wanted to have a spirited evening with one of our young ladies.
Oh.
We dumped their bodies on the west side of the camp. Told them where they could find them. Told them they weren't getting any water. They weren't allowed in the oasis.
Well done.
Yes.
Do you know where they get their water from, where their slaves would have to obtain it?
He points out in the general direction of the lake.
Oh, I see.
Just at the lake somewhere.
Yep.
Mhm.
We noticed not many people were actually at the water's edge. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah. Cisterns.
Oh,
Most people only need to fill up once, twice a week. No point
I
in
see.
dragging water down every day. Not when you can build something to hold on to it for a while.
where are the cisterns located?
By people's houses, by the different businesses. Most people got their own. There's a few shared, but he kind of angles his head back towards Gwen. You sure we've never met? Your voice sounds real familiar.
I can't imagine that we have. I've spent most of my life in Thunder's Edge, and then beyond that, I've only recently started traveling with the Four. But you've heard my voice before?
No, not your voice. Something about it sounds familiar. I don't know.
Was it younger?
Or older.
Do me a favor. He kind of reaches down beside his chair and grabs a large wooden mug, picks it up, holds it out, says, "Will you go fill this up for me?"
Sure.
Getting a little thirsty.
I take it. Where should I fill it?
Well, you're standing basically about 10 feet from the edge of the lake.
I'll walk over and fill it.
Okay.
Scoop it up.
Okay.
And bring
You-
it back to him.
Squat down, lean out, scoop up some water, bring it back to him. He grabs your arm as you hand him the glass, and he takes his other hand and he reaches towards your face.
Take his hand and place it on my face.
And he obsequious son of a bitch. What's your name?
Gwenlaryn. My friends call me Gwen.
After all
Gwen
this
was
time.
taken.
Yeah. I know.
From here?
From my daughter and my son-in-law. I'm your grandfather, girl.
Okay, how is that possible?
You got a last name?
Dune Shadow?
Me too.
You're kidding.
Nope. Theolid Dune Shadow.
I just kind of sit down right where I am.
She's never had any family.
Thought you was dead, girl.
And I thought all my family was as well.
Well, your pop and your mom are. We thought you died too.
You must know what happened then?
Yeah. Got attacked by bandits in the desert. It's the last time I went out. If I concentrate, I can sort of see through Preez here's eyes. He goes back to scratching the panther. Found 2 massacres. First one was the caravan that your mom and dad were leading. And the second one we figured was the bandits.
That would make sense. I wasn't raised by bandits. I was raised in Thunder's Edge. So I was never sure if the people of Thunder's Edge that were scouting, if they took me from my parents or how I came to be there. But if bandits killed my parents, then it would make sense that the bandits themselves were killed by a patrol party from Thunder's Edge, and they took me back with them. I joined the clan eventually when I had proven myself.
You're part of one of the clans.
I am. The Lion Clan from Thunder's Edge. I served as their Thosgan for many years.
I don't recognize that term.
It's a scout.
Yeah. What profession do you follow?
I'm an adventurer, I'm a scout, and I'm a ranger.
And you're a lady.
Most recently, I sort of was given a title, but
What'd you do? They don't hand those out to just anybody.
we kind of liberated a city.
Really? Didn't need
Yeah.
liberating?
Oh, it sure did.
Yeah, they were slavers.
Ugh,
Not anymore.
good for you.
Have you ever heard of Strafsman's End?
Can't say I have.
It's Strafsman's Dawn now.
So, what do you know about your parents?
Nothing. nothing at all.
Well, your dad's name was Gremson Duneshadow. Him and his brother Rynnald. They hailed out of Thunder's Edge too, actually, but they were just caravanners. But they met a pair of elven ladies. Terralana is your mom. And Sorasana. That was Rynnald's wife. Funny how it happens. Sparks flew between both couples and both ended up getting married, both ended up having a kid. You're muted.
What's the name of the kid?
Well,
You've got to be kidding.
Gremson and Terralana had her, Gwenlaryn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rynnald and Sorasana have a daughter named Arona.
Oh, phew.
Yeah. This is gonna be a weird night.
Where's Arona?
She's back in town. So's Rynnald. Sorasana passed away.
Mm.
But so you got an uncle and a cousin too, girl.
Wow. I don't have any idea how to process this. My only family has been first my clan and now the Four, this group. So I've never had anyone that I considered kin in that way.
We all thought you were dead too.
I put my hand on Gwenlaryn's shoulder, give it a squeeze.
I have so many questions, I don't know where to begin. How long ago did this happen? How old was I when I was taken?
I'm not the best at keeping track of time lately. Pretty much not since I lost my eyes, but I don't know, Rynnald will know, but it's gotta be 20 years, give or take.
What were my parents like?
Gremson was a joker. He was a sorcerer. Never seen anybody have so much fun with things going wrong than Gremson. I think that's what Terry saw in him. He made her laugh. And he told me once that making an elf woman laugh isn't easy.
I too like a good joke. I have sort of a friendship, I guess, with, well, I call him Sekuthos, but he's Costas also. He taught me how to swim.
Somebody named their kid after a god? That's arrogant.
No, the actual,
he's really the god.
the actual god. He hung out with us for a while. We amused him, and he taught me how to swim. It was really cool. And now I amuse him when I can. He's probably laughing hysterically about this situation.
Look at the lake. Maybe there's a reason you took to water, Gwen.
The hell do you people do?
Save the
We're
world.
adventurers.
We're kind of a big deal.
We're the four.
It doesn't mean anything to me, but I'll take your word for it.
We hang out with dragons. Maybe.
We liberate entire towns.
And dragons.
We hang
We've-
with gods who teach us to swim.
We have-
Sometimes.
We have killed some dragons, yeah.
And save dragons.
I can attest that they did, in fact, save over 600 of my kin. And they were, in fact, in the company of Costas, or an avatar of Costas. Okay.
So. Gwen.
I don't even know what questions to ask first. What was my mom like?
First time I met her, I thought she was royal. Turns out she's just an elf.
Yeah. I've heard that before.
She's real polite. Took a while to warm up to me. But found out get an elf drunk. They get drunk just like anybody else, and she loved to tell stories when she was drunk, so got to learn about her and her people. Unfortunately learned about what happened to the island way up northeast. She
Which
and her
island?
Fath something.
Aecathan.
That's it. She and her sister were fleeing something that happened there, and they wanted to get as far away as possible, and ended up in Thunder's Edge, and ended up crossing paths with my boys. But she's good people, your mom. Deft hand with a bow. Almost as good as me. Well, almost as good as I used to be.
I rather like the bow myself.
Yeah. It runs in the family.
What should I call you?
Well, when you was real little, you called me T. Couldn't quite get the TH.
It's a tricky sound. Would you
Why?
like me to still call you that?
I think you can call me whatever you want. Most folk just call me Theo.
Well, I'd like to call you something different from what most folk call you, because I've lived my life without really any kind of family structure. Only recently did I have a family when these folks pretty much strong-armed me into it. Because I don't really know what family is supposed to do. So I think it would be cool to call you T, and something different from what everyone else calls you.
T it is. And what do you mean you don't know what family does? It looks like you already figured it out. Family watches, you watch your back. You watch out for each other, you take care of each other. You step in front of an arrow aimed for one of the other ones.
I'm learning. I've been used to being on my own, and I spent a lot of years as a scout, so a lot of years traveling solo. It's taken a little adjustment to get used to working as part of a team, as these folks will attest. But I'm working on it. I'm getting better at it. I'm
Wow.
less likely to run off and do things on my own. Trying to figure out how to make this work. Are you alone here?
Nah, I got Preez.
What is his name?
Preez.
Preez?
Yeah. And Rynnald and Arona, they come out and see me all the time. Just, I like it better out here. I can hear better. Smell better.
How
That makes
you,
sense.
How did you lose your sight, if you don't mind my asking?
Galanazan. The gods.
What?
Galanazan. Gods curse his bones.
Galanazan?
Red Dracolich.
Oh. We killed a blue one, but not a red one.
Hey. Good for you, dead Dracolich. I'd say that puts you right up there. Yeah, I managed to take the red one down, but not without a cost.
Mm.
When did this happen?
Gotta be quarter century ago.
Does it still exist?
No. No, I killed it.
You did kill it.
Yeah, well,
Well, I know
I
sometimes
beat it to
they
the
come back.
I beat it to the point where it didn't move anymore, let's put it that way. Not sure you can kill something that is already dead.
Right. But it didn't resurrect or come back.
Not that I've heard.
And how did you come to have priests with you?
Oh. Priest's been with me I was about 19. Found her as a cub.
So have I met her before?
Probably. And she'd have been around. She didn't much like anybody but me. She tolerates my son, my granddaughter. Probably why she just turned and came back to me after running into you. That's how I know you was coming.
Well, she didn't have much to say other than asking why
No.
she should let me pass.
Nah, she don't talk much. Not even to me. And that's fine. I talk enough for the both of us.
Well, is there anything you need? Is there anything we can do for you while we're here?
He stretches and slowly climbs to his feet. Preez immediately gets up too and sort of bumps into his left leg, like, I'm right here. I should probably head into town with you.
Can I ask a question, sir?
Yeah.
We were recently in a town. There was someone with a similar affliction, and I was able to restore his sight.
She's a powerful healer.
Would you want me to try?
I'd hate to have you waste your energy, but if you want to try, go ahead. You won't be the first. I doubt you'll be the last.
Is there anything I can do to assist you in this attempt, Aribell?
No, I'll pray to Torora, and she's been good and kind and generous before.
If it helps, I'll pray as well. I know she's not my god, but can't hurt.
Why don't you hold your grandfather's hand?
I do.
I take her other hand and I take his and pray and ask Torora for assistance in healing him, and I will cast Lesser Restoration.
The power comes, as always, flows into Theo, and you feel it hit some sort of block. And it pushes at the block for a moment and then just sort of loses cohesion, and the power just sort of trickles away.
We're still all in this. I'm going to cast Remove Curse.
Okay.
Try that.
This time you feel the power flow from you and into Theo as per normal, but it doesn't seem to change anything.
But I mean, if it did work, then I would have to cast the spell again, the restoration again, right? If he was cursed. Like if there was a curse preventing it.
Make a religion check. I'll let you do that instead of Arcana, since this is all healing magic.
$22.
Yes, that seems logical. That if there was a curse blocking the ability of your healing magics to actually accomplish their goal, removing the curse would then remove whatever was inhibiting the healing. But
There's not really a way to know if there was or not. I mean,
right.
Okay. Well, I will try one more time.
Okay. And this time you feel the spell flow into Theo like it should. But again, there's no difference.
Between religion or medicine, can I come up with any theory as to why?
With what you know of healing conditions like this, it does seem like there was a curse at play, and with the curse gone, this should have worked. But for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to have.
Tell him that.
Maybe someone with a more powerful restoration spell could maybe now help.
I don't
Maybe
know.
someone in town.
But I do think you were cursed, and that's gone now.
Means that there's hope.
I've been without my eyes for so long, I just kind of resigned myself to being like this till I go to meet Quisva.
But wouldn't it be great if you could see me as I see you?
I can see you a little. Although, looking through a panther's eyes is not the same as using your own.
I just am so glad that this has worked out. We originally came to try to figure out how to help liberate some of those slaves, and this has been unexpectedly wonderful.
I agree. Something I never even dreamed would be true.
Can we go meet my uncle and cousin?
Yeah. That's kind of what I figured we better do next.
I would love to meet more family.
All right. Well, I'll let you lead. You know how to get back to the village, right?
I believe so.
Probably walk past place smells something awful.
Yes.
That's
Is it a tannery?
Alchemist.
Oh,
That's Arona's shop. That's your cousin.
Oh.
We'll stop there first.
Okay.
While we're walking, I want to cast Detect Magic again and see if I can sense if there's an effect on him.
Okay. Make a perception check.
$28.
Not that you can see. He clearly has a couple magical items. But apart from the things that he's carrying, nothing else. I mean, apart from the water, obviously, since you're walking along the edge of the lake.
But if there's a magical effect that was causing it, would that really even I don't know if that would show up on...
With a high enough perception check, yeah.
Okay. Because dispel is the only other thing I could think of to dispel a magical effect, but... I can pick what I'm doing, so it's not because you choose one thing, not his magical items, right? So
Right.
what could I
So,
do something like that? Like choose, even if I can't sense it, a magical effect if there's one within range on him?
You'd have to be able to sense it in order to target it.
I can't think of anything else.
It doesn't take long to get back to the edge of the village, and you see the large, sort of vaguely triangular-shaped tent with the odd and not terribly pleasant scents coming from it.
I put my hand on Theo's arm and say, "Let's go, T. We've got people to meet."
Yeah, we do. And he, with his other hand on Preez's neck, he walks right up to the entrance and pulls the flap aside and walks inside. The air in here is interesting. It's a combination of scents, both sweet and acrid. And there is a half-elven woman wearing a tan robe with various elemental symbols embroidered in green thread. She has chestnut hair, probably about down to the middle of her back, but it's bound up in a ponytail. And she is currently holding a vial in one hand and a book in the other. You see that she's wearing round glasses, and behind those glasses are bright gold eyes.
So we don't look much alike then.
No. And she pours just a little bit into this pot that she's working on, and a little bit of smoke goes poof. And she kind of looks down her nose into the pot and looks back at the book and sits it down and then looks up and seems to realize, and she says, "Grandfather," snaps the book closed and comes out from behind the counter and walks over and gives him a big hug. "What are you doing in town? You don't ever come into town. You make us come to you." "Well, it's a different situation. You know how I always tell you that one of the things about being me is nothing can surprise me? You have said this many times. Well, today I got surprised." "Oh no. Are you all right?" "Yeah. I'm really good. Yeah, there's no real easy way to do this, so, Arona, meet your cousin. Gwenlaryn.
You can call me Gwen.
And you see Arona just... But grandfather, how? She got saved. Remember how I found the bandits? They were all dead, and I figured all 3 of them were dead, too. Well, the folks that took the bandits took Gwen back to Thunder's Edge. She's part of the Lion Clan. You can believe that. And Arona finally turns and looks right at you, Gwen. And just slowly starts to walk around you.
Hi.
She finally gets back to standing in front of you. And then just reaches out and takes your shoulders. I don't believe it.
It's been a day.
I imagine that it has. And then she just wraps you up in a big hug and says, "Welcome home."
Thanks. I do the awkward bat thing with both hands. It's fun to meet family I didn't know I had.
And she steps back and, still holding your shoulders, looks at Theo. "Does father know?" "No, not yet. You were closer to the house, so we stopped here first. Can you close up and come with us?" I will be along very shortly. This is unfortunately at a point where I can't leave it completely yet, but it is close to finished. And when it is, I shall set it to simmer and I shall be along. This is a remarkable day.
It's good to meet you.
And it is a privilege to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you.
Likewise.
You will come to dinner this evening?
Yes.
Good. We will talk over a meal. That is only fitting.
Can I introduce you to my family?
Oh,
And
of course.
I introduce the Four and Gaegho.
Well, it's nice to have a name to go with the voice there, Aribell. The prayers were pretty. Haven't had a Terroran around here in a long time.
Sorry they didn't work.
I didn't expect him to. Whatever that damn Dracolich did to me, he did good.
Maybe we can look into the kinds of curses that Dracoliches can have.
Yeah. Well, like I said, never figured this would be any different, so nothing changes. I'm no worse off, and besides, whole pass look good today.
It has been a good day so far.
Well, why are you still standing here? Go! Let me finish this potion and go tell father.
Sorry.
Ah, she's yelling at me. I am not yelling, I am simply instructing. Whatever. You're a good girl. He walks over and kind of brings his hand up to find her face and then leans over and kisses her cheek and says, "We'll see you at dinner." That you will. And then you will tell me how father reacts when you tell him. All right. So he leads you out. Leads you around the building, down into the camp, around what turns out to be sort of a large common area with benches and what looks like stones for a very, very large fire in the center. Looks like it's probably like a community meeting place. Takes you past some smaller structures to a much larger structure. It's a different type of construction. It's a long and narrow building. It seems like it's been woven from sort of a mesh of palm trunks and palm fronds, with a palm frond roof, but something about it is different. It looks like it's been treated somehow. And you can smell hide and chickens?
Okay.
Chickens are not really great smelling.
Nope.
No.
He walks over, and this building actually has a traditional door on it, which you haven't seen a lot. Theo opens it, walks in. The inside of this chamber has been arranged clearly so that the center of the chamber is open from one end to the other. Around the edges, tables, chairs, workbenches, cupboards, except for the far end. At the opposite end of the building, which is about probably 60 feet, you can see that a large target has been hung on the wall, and there are several arrows and bolts sticking from it. You see a gentleman who's about maybe 5 feet tall. Rather short, rather stocky. He's wearing sandy-colored studded leather with gloves and boots and pants and a cloak, all the same color. He has silver white hair that he keeps tucked back behind his ears. He turns around and Father, what are you doing here? What brings you to the village today? And who are these women? Well, that's the story. You wanna pull out some chairs and that bench? This is a sit-down conversation. Oh. Very well. So he pulls out 4 chairs and a long bench and settles down into one of the chairs. Theo and Preez walk over and sit down next to him.
I offer a chair to Gaego and then I sit down on the bench.
I thank you. That's very nice of you. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna bury the lead for a minute. Remember the stories about your great-great-great-grandpappy? Well, I remember some. Remember the one about the Sentinel of the Sands? The dragon, yes. Well, say hello. Have you lost your mind, old man? No. He points to Gaego. That's the Sentinel of the Sands. Father, it is an elf. No, only looks like an elf. Smells like a dragon. Talks like a dragon. Remembered great-great-great-grandpappy's name. You see the gentleman in the sandy-colored outfit kind of just parsing this for a moment. He looks at his father, and then he looks at Gaego again and closes his eyes for a moment, seems to hold his breath, and then he inhales sharply through his nose. Goddess. Father, you are right. She does not smell like an elf. It's because she's not an elf. That is the Sentinel of the Sands. She's not dead. She came back. These 4 others brought her and her kin back. So there's lots of good dragons in the world again. That is amazing. That is almost more than I can believe.
Wait, there's more.
Yep, she's not wrong. So, that one there is Zorith. Yeah. And, the one with the pretty voice, that's Aribell. One that just told you there was more, that there's Tasha. And the one that hadn't said anything, that's Gwenlaryn.
Hi.
And you see him kind of stiffen a little bit, and he's like, that is cruel. Why would you bring someone who bears the name of my dead niece? What are you about, old man? Well, you got that almost right. She bears the name of your niece, 'cause she's your niece. He just blinks.
Not dead. Got picked up by a patrol from Thunder's Edge and worked my way into the clan.
He looks at Theo, and Theo just kind of half turns his head in his direction and says, "She's real." Think about it. Look at her. Doesn't she remind you of somebody?
Do I look like my parents?
He kind of really looks at you for the first time, and he's just kind of like, I can see my brother in your face. How is this possible? I was wrong. Now I know you have lost your mind. You have never admitted being wrong, I think, ever. Yep. Well, never been so happy about it before. So, Gwenlaryn, this is your Uncle Rynnald.
Hello, Rynnald.
Hello, I don't know what to say.
You can call me Gwen. The rest of my family does.
All right. And you may call me Uncle Rynnald.
Pleased to meet you, Uncle. I just met your daughter.
I was just going to ask if Arano knows. We stopped there first, coming from my place. She said she'll be here later. We're all having dinner together. You are, of course, right that we are all having dinner together. I am going to cook for everyone.
Ooh.
This was very unexpected. We were simply coming by this way and were told that T here is the person to ask for information. So we sought him out and ran into him and Preez.
Preez.
So we got more information than we anticipated.
I would imagine so. How? I have too many questions and no brain to process them.
I know the feeling.
I imagine that you do.
Well, I'd love to hear more about my parents and my family and my background and everything. And I'd be happy to tell you anything you want to know about me.
We will talk over the meal this evening. That
Very
is
good.
the appropriate place for family and friends to share stories. Well, I believe I will be closing early today.
What
The-
do you do?
Oh, I am a bowyer and a fletcher.
Oh.
I I rather enjoy a good bow myself. Perhaps we could do a little target practice later.
I would enjoy that. Father will not shoot any longer, and Arona has no desire to spend her time with something as simple as a bow.
No, there's nothing simple about the perfect shot.
No, there is not. Yes, we will have to talk. Perhaps after the meal, we can return here, and I will show you some of my work. And we will compare skill and see. We shall see if you truly have the Dune Shadow luck.
I don't know if I have the luck. But
Are you kidding?
we'll see what we can do. Why?
Okay. You managed to survive and thrive. You managed to get saved by us. And
That's
you
true.
managed to somehow find your family after all of this time. That's not luck?
I suppose it is a kind of luck.
Your friend is not wrong. I would definitely consider that luck.
Some might consider it luck, others might consider it a sort of universal joke. Do you like a good joke?
Who does not?
We'll have to compare those as well.
It should prove to be a very spirited and interesting meal this evening. Well, is there any reason that I should not spread this joyful news? I can't think of a reason why not. I mean, at the very least, you should tell Yar, if nothing else.
Who's Yar?
Oh, he is my best friend. He is the proprietor of the grocery.
Is there anything that we can do to assist you this evening?
No. You simply need to be patient while I cook. And perhaps explore. Have you? I assume you have not been here before.
No.
Well, I doubt that Father will offer to be your guide. Yeah, you got that right. I'm going home. I'll come back for dinner, but I'm going home now. Been here too long already. It is as I feared. But you can, please feel free to wander. I believe it would be appropriate for me to also invite Tef. Oh, yeah. That's probably a really good idea.
Tef?
The leader of the Oasis.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
He is essentially, what would be the word? Mayor. He is the mayor. But we don't really have that sort of structure, but it would be essentially the same role in the society.
okay.
It'd be an honor to meet him, I'm sure.
And he will definitely want to meet you. So, yes, please, wander, explore. I will go talk to Yar and get everything that I need for dinner. And we will eat and we will talk. And we will get to know one another again.
Wonderful. since it seems the thing to do, I'll just kind of go forward and give him a little awkward hug as well.
Okay, he's a little like, oh, okay, we're hugging. Okay.
I hug
I
now.
know. Yep, you get an equally awkward hug back.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Good to meet you, Uncle.
What time shall we be back?
I would say about the time that the sun is setting. It will not take me long.
Okay.
So, an hour or so.
Very good.
So, I cannot believe it is you. After all this time. We will have to talk about what it was that brought you here. As
Indeed.
whatever it is, it must be a blessed event.
Well, maybe. I'm glad that it has brought me here today.
As am I. All right, come, Father. I will walk with you as far as we are both going the same direction. Right.
And I'll turn to my crew and say, let's go get drinks.
Oh,
We'll
can't we just look around?
see you at dinner.
Yep. And let's get a drink for
And
a
they-
while we walk around.
They both walk out.
Okay, so
Well,
It's a lot.
that is
A
a lot.
this day has borne unexpected fruit.
Isn't it?
I mean, the good news is that we should be able to get all the information that we want.
That's what I was thinking if we're going to meet the leader of the town.
Yeah.
Gwen, if it makes sense for us to stay here to monitor the caravans for a little bit, we certainly can stay for as long as you want.
As long as you need.
I think that it would be good to get to know them a bit,
I think we can do that.
Absolutely.
especially if we can monitor the caravans at the same time and hell, maybe take over a few. Seems like a win-win.
Yeah.
Deep breaths.
Let's go back. Let's go back to
The weary traveler.
Delirious
Oh,
Traveler.
there we go. Delirious traveler.
Yes, I need
If we
more
could-
than just a water, I think.
Find it and get you something to drink.
Yes, indeed.
All right. As you set out for a drink to help celebrate and maybe calm Gwen's nerves a little bit, that's where we're going to stop this evening. We will pick this back up next time
Yay!
as
Ooh.
Gwen and her new family
Yeah.
explore the home of her old family. So,
Wow.
yep. So this is where I usually say something like, we'll be back next Tuesday. Stay safe, stay sane, all of that. But stay safe, stay sane doesn't quite cut it now. We are living in a whole new world in this country, thanks to the Supreme Court. So instead of stay safe, stay sane, I think I need to say, remember next time to tune in, turn it up, and burn it down. Now is the time for anyone with a conscience to stand up and say no more. That's what we're all going to do. That's what we hope you're going to do too. So, now I will say thank you for your attention. We do appreciate it. And we will be back next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, here on Twitch and then the following Monday on YouTube. So be well and come back so we can welcome you back once more to the lands of Aecathan. Good night, everybody.
Bye.